Hey everyone, so I want to give my thoughts and opinions here between the iPad Air with the M2 chip versus the iPad Pro with the M4 chip. And as you can hopefully tell here, my Air is the 13-inch, my Pro is the 11-inch. So one of the big things is going to be the price on them. Hopefully you guys can see this in the video. But with the Air, I have the Air on this one, the Pro on this one for their prices here. You know, you're spending $600 or 800, depending on which size you get starting at. Whereas on the Pro, you are talking 1,000 or 1,300. So you're talking what does that be? $400 more, which is crazy price difference. And then actually it's $500 if you want to get the 13-inch compared to the 13-inch. But you can buy yourself the 13-inch Air and save $200 over the 11-inch on the Pro even. Which is crazy. And both of these are very, very premium devices. So right away, I just want to say, if I were to buy one of these, and I am going to be keeping just one of these, I would be buying the 13-inch Air, because again, it is cheaper than buying the 11-inch Pro, and it is very, very close to each other. But let's talk about some of the differences here, and if you want to hear all the differences, or more of the differences, you can go ahead and check out my channel. So I do have a video on what is different between these two, as well as a speed test between these two. But as far as speed goes, these are both very, very similar, unless you're doing something like some 4K video editing, very long videos. That is where you're going to see some difference. But in everyday use, they are very, very similar. Unless you have them next to each other, you're not really going to notice the difference. And even if they are next to each other, there's not a whole lot of difference. But one of the things you're going to notice, and probably notice in this video, is the display on the Air. Air is not as good as on the Pro. I hope you guys can see, like, the whites are like almost pure white, whereas on the Air it is a little bit more of a yellowish hue to it. So the displays, you have an OLED display versus just a LED display, so you do have a nicer display on the Pro. And on top of that, you do also get promotion. So if that is a big thing to you, the Pro gives you promotion, the Air does not. Personally, I don't notice much of a difference unless they're side by side. Not having promotion doesn't bother me personally, but if it does bother you, you'd have to get the Pro and spend that $1,000 or more. Then one more thing about the price that I should have said earlier is that for the Air, you are getting half the storage of what you are on the Pro. So with the Pro, it starts out at 256 gigabytes and then doubles each time, whereas on the Air, it starts at 128 gigabytes and then doubles each time. So for your $600 starting at, you're getting 128 gigs versus the 256 on the Pro. Now, if you are into playing music or watching movies, videos, and stuff on your iPads, the Pro does give you 4 speakers compared to the Air, which only gives you 2 or stereo speakers. And of course, I would say both of these sound really good. And again, I have the 11-inch here versus the 13. I actually almost prefer the 13-inch Air speakers over the Pro. To me, they just sound a little bit better, a little bit more full. And I think that's because they're probably a little bit bigger speakers, being a bigger device. Now, of course, if you were to buy the 13-inch Pro, which give you 4 speakers, that would sound even better. But I do think both of these sound really good. And again, between the 13-inch Air versus 11-inch Pro, I actually prefer the 13-inch Air. It just, even though it has half the speakers, because it's a bigger device, it actually sounds really good. Now, these both do have USB Type-C, of course, it's on the bottom here. But again, with the Pro, you are getting a little bit of a better, it's a little bit better. So you have USB Type-C support for Thunderbolt, as well as USB 4. This does not have USB 4, and it does not have support for Thunderbolt. It's just regular USB Type-C. Now, flipping them over here, you can see they do have a difference in camera as well. Now, when I unboxed these, I made a mistake saying this had more cameras. It does not. They both have the same camera actually in them. You just get a bit more features with the Pro, as well as an LED flash. And the same goes for the front. You have the cameras on the sides here. You can't really see them in the video, but again, they are basically the same camera, just you get a few more features, especially if you're doing any sort of videography. You get a few more features with the Pro over the Air. One more thing on the display is the Pro does get brighter. Hopefully you can tell that in this video. It does get a decent amount brighter. So if you are somebody who takes your devices outside or you have 5G on it or whatever, the Pro will get brighter. But again, the Air is no slouch. As far as battery life is concerned, if you get the same size on both of them, they will have the same battery life, which is up to 10 hours. At least on the 13-incher, it's up to 10 hours. So again, if you get the same size, it'll have basically the same battery life expected. But like I said, for me, my pick would be the 13-inch Air. I love the size of this 13-inch device. It is quite big. I mean, you can see how much bigger it is, I mean 2 inches over the Pro. So again, for me personally, I would say get yourself the Air, the 13-incher. But if you do need more power, you can of course buy the Pro. Or if you just don't care about the sizes of them, you don't mind 11-inch, you can spend $600 and get yourself an Air. So again, personally, I would say the Air for me is the better pick. There's not a whole lot of difference in power or in speed, which is the biggest things I personally care about. I mean, you can do any sort of game you want on either of these. I mean, they're both very quick for web browsing. Even video editing, they're both very quick. Just the Pro is a little bit better. And on top of that, I would even say for most people, something like the iPad 9 or 10 is more than enough. But that is for a different video. Let me know what you all think. Thank you all for watching. Hope you have a good one. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.